ever since the release of Windows Forms all those years ago, we got this interface called INotifyPropertyChanged, and this interface allows properties to notify somebody, and that would typically be the UI, to notify whoever's interested that they are in fact being changed, or their value is being changed. And we've had lots of requests for ReSharper to support INotifyPropertyChanged implicitly, and I'm happy to say that in version 7 that's exactly what we've done. So if I add an INotifyPropertyChanged declaration here, then what you'll see is that in the context menu, in addition to having just the implement members as one would expect, I also have an option to implement INotifyPropertyChanged. If I select that, not only do I get the characteristic event, but I also get the helper method that actually fires this event for me, and that event would be expected to exist by the rest of the infrastructure in order to implement this on properties. But it's not just the interface that we're supporting explicitly. If you have a base class from some framework, like let's say you're using Prism and you're inheriting from notification object instead, then in the same fashion, ReSharper would support the INotifyPropertyChanged ideology. Now, how exactly does it support it? Because I haven't shown that yet. Well, let's suppose for a second that I have a public string name property defined like so. Now, as a context action, not only can I change it to a property with a backing field, but I can actually change it to a property with a backing field and one of the RasePropertyChanged calls that we've inherited from notification object. So in this case, I will select the one that uses a string. And as you can see, what happens is we get a property with a backing field, but we also do that crucial RasePropertyChanged call that in turn uses INotifyPropertyChanged in the notification object. Now, another way of doing this is if I had a field instead. So if I have a private field called age, for example, what I could do is I could go into generate and choose properties. I could select that field and notice the option here to let me to specify how I want to notify on property changes. And once again, I can avoid notification altogether, or I can use one of the two methods, either the methods that the method that takes a string or a method that takes a lambda expression. So I'll choose a lambda expression in this case, and what you'll see is once again the property gets changed, and here is that call with the lambda expression in it. Now, in order to make it all a little bit safe, you'll notice that we generally provide additional help inside the calls when a string is used, because a string is not the safest way to reference something. Like, for example, if I suddenly make this private, notice that this is underlined in red and there is a problem, and ReSharper shows this problem. It says cannot access the private property name here. And in a similar fashion, if I erase this and I press Control Space to show completion, ReSharper actually shows me all the options that could actually appear in this particular location.